opener. Alongside Mac McCausland, I'm Wayne Randazzo, and Mac, Michigan winning the Big Ten championship last year and a chance this year to defend that title.
Well, and Hillsdale Chargers come in here. If it wasn't bad enough to play at Michigan, now you're going to do it after rings have been passed out, banners have gone up. It was hail to the victors, hail to the champions, and Michigan is going to look forward to trying to repeat again this year.
And if Michigan is going to repeat that championship, Mac, they're relying on a lot of young players to do it.
Well, they are. There's a lot of length, a lot of inexperience, a lot of talent. It's going to take people like Karis LeVert to carry him with the experience he's got.
Take a look at tonight's starting lineups for Hillsdale. Zach Miller, Stedman Lowry, Lucas Gross, Kyle Cooper, their top player, and Jason Pretzer, the 7-footer in the middle for the Chargers. Michigan with Karis LeVert, Derek Walton Jr., Zach Irvin, Cameron Chapman, and Mark Donnell. Only 2 returning starters for the Wolverines. LeVert and Walton back in the lineup for Michigan. Everybody else getting used to the starting role. In Chapman's case, getting used to playing college ball. Donnell, too.
Yeah, you look at the two of them. Youngsters, Donnell redshirted, Chapman just a rookie, and there you see Coach John Beeline. What a coaching fraternity he has had at different stops, and a terrific style that young people like to play.
John Tharp in his 8th season at Hillsdale, 3rd most victories in Chargers history. He's also the winningest coach ever at Lawrence University in Wisconsin. So he brings his Hillsdale club to Ann Arbor to begin the college hoop season. We are underway. The Wolverines winning the tip. Trying to defend their Big Ten regular season championship this year.
Hillsdale, primarily a man-to-man team. Coach Tharp learned a lot from John Rudin and Bob Knight. And forces the outside shot, but gave up an offensive rebound.
Chapman with that rebound, and the putback can't finish. He gets another chance that doesn't go. Fighting for Chapman, and it's out of bounds. And it will belong after a discussion to Hillsdale. Good effort by the freshman Chapman in his college debut.
And a poor effort by Hillsdale. They want one and done. They cannot afford to have the length and athleticism of Michigan dominate the boards.
It's Zach Miller who brings it up the floor for Hillsdale.
And Michigan, a man-to-man team as well. Although historically, Coach Beeline has used a 1-3-1. Oh, what a cut, wide open.
Open and didn't take the shot. Stedman Lowry could have gone up with it and got an easy basket. He hesitated, and it cost him. Another miss from Zach Irvin and a rebound for Hillsdale. Nice spin to the basket by Lucas Gross, and it's the Chargers who strike first.
Well, Wayne, what you've got to have is Hillsdale either score easily like that, just survive the first 5 minutes of this game, keep it close, don't let the nerves take you over. Maybe Michigan's slightly nervous. You know, it's championship ring day.
They've missed their first 4 shots so far. A chance on the post for Donnell under the basket around the 7-footer Pretzer. Mark Donnell gets the Wolverines on the board.
Hillsdale runs a lot of just what old-fashioned motion or more of the swing offense that Wisconsin uses. A lot of people out, not a regular post. Double screen, trying to get a shooter open. This is the hard part when the shot clock gets down. Who can break down anybody?
The ball gets away, it goes out of bounds, and it will stay with Hillsdale. Shot clock at 10 for the Chargers. Michigan with all their youth, and this is why, missing a lot of players from last year, a lot of key players. Nick Stauskas, Glenn Robinson III, and Mitch McGarry, all gone. That's roughly 40 points per game that's missing from this team. It's a 3-point shot going down for Stedman Lowry, and a 5-2 lead early for Hillsdale.
When we talked to Coach Tharp, when we got to the name Lowry, he just said, shoot it. That's all he said. Didn't say do anything else. Showed it right there.
Now Michigan will try to get their offense on track, and it's LeVert who takes the 3 and falls short. All the shots missing short from 3-point range early for Michigan.
And that shows, in my mind, and what did we just say? Lowry, 3 bells.
Lowry has scored all 8 for Hillsdale.
Michigan a little impatient, I think, on their cuts and taking quick shots, as you indicated. A lot of threes. They can get the ball inside and drive it inside.
He was pickpocketed by Kyle Cooper. And now Hillsdale with Miller driving to the basket. He gets An offensive foul. It's going to be going to Michigan after Miller charges Walton.
Wide open three from the out-of-bounds play. And then in the open court, find the wing. And that's what I think Miller should have done last time. He had somebody deep in the corner. Instead, he got the charge.
John Tharp cheering on his team. They've made 3 of their first 4 shots. And a stiff punch to Michigan in the first 3 minutes. It's Karis LeVert getting it back from Donnell. The jump shot from LeVert falls too strong this time, and it's Lowry with the rebound.
Little surprise, LeVert, the veteran, he's had shots short, he's had shots long, he's had shots go to the right.
And a big jam down low for Kyle Cooper. Hillsdale bench is charged up.
And should be. I'll tell you, Miller is running this team very well. With patience, looking, finding the open man. The problem he has that one foul. He can't get a quick second one.
Zach Irvin finding Walton. He's the point man for this Michigan team. A second-year starter. Walton goes inside and can't get it to roll, but he will go to the free throw line after the foul. We'll take a look at Hillsdale. A strong start. Kyle Cooper getting down low.
Well, there you had a freshman, Cam Chapman, up high, as they say, up the line on that free throw lane area. No help from behind, no rotation. And it would just throw to a spot, not even a man. And Cooper with the easy finish.
Derek Walton, a 79% free throw shooter last year as a freshman, missing that first one.
Lane right now, it looks like Michigan is the nervous one, even though they're at home. In terms of that free throw, was certainly not a nice rhythm shot.
Walton does get the second one, all Big Ten freshman last year, to stop this Hillsdale run. Where did it come from? The Chargers have made all their shots so far. Michigan hasn't. Zach Miller trying to dribble around some big bodies. He's 5'8". Not used to being against this type of talent, but he finds an open man underneath, Stedman Lowry, and it continues for the Chargers.
Well, Hillsdale's only missed one shot. Wolverines have only made one shot.
Trying to make this one and finally able to connect. Derek Walton quiets the Charger bench with a 3 from the corner.
Hillsdale may have to find somebody else to bring up the ball, because I think that Zach Miller just doesn't have the quickness or speed to get around Walton.
Already 10 points for Lowry, and now 13. Stedman Lowry is on fire to start.
Well, again, we'll revisit. Coach Stark said shooter. That's the only word he used to describe Lowry.
The shot starting to fall for Michigan, too. Zach Irvin punches that one down. That's all Michigan needs to keep doing. An interception from Mark Donnell. Irvin inside to Donnell, kicks it out. Another 3. And this one good for Karis LeVert.
That's what Hillsdale has to be concerned about. You've got to run some clock now. Get balance back in your offense. Michigan can score very quickly. That's been the tradition under Coach Beilein.
A 9-3 run for Michigan. This time Hillsdale has been challenged by the Wolverines offense, trying to pick it away as Chapman, and he knocks it out of bounds. It will be Michigan ball.
They can be divided among the players. Now take a look. Coach Stark, that is a yellow, maybe even a maize shirt, followed by a dark blue jacket. Maize and blue by Coach Stark.
Hey, they're all Wolverines here in the state of Michigan, right?
Yes, they are. Actually, he born in Iowa and became a Hawkeye fan early in his life. And then he's become everybody's fan now and trying to learn as much as he can about this basketball game.
Quite a start for Stedman Lowry and this entire Chargers team. Lowry makes 4 of 5 so far, including 3 threes. A miss here from LeVert and a rebound falling to Michael Furlong. Doyle's in the game for the first time for Michigan. Max Spike Albrecht as well.
Michigan, as we said, uses a high, wide offense. They love gaps. They love to drive.
Got some size, too. He's a Z Cooper off the glass, 6'7". He missed that one. He's their top scorer, at least top returning scorer. Cooper trying to block that one from Walton, who misses. And a rebound to Stedman Lowry, already in double figures in his first collegiate game. How about it at Michigan? Drawing some contact, Michael Furlong. It's on the floor. So Hillsdale will reset after the foul from Levert. First foul against the Wolverines.
Levert and I think Spike Albrechter going to be the two that have to become vocal leaders as well as showing the players how to do things on the court. Got to talk on defense, you got to talk on offense, let people get balance, know where they are, and know where the opponent is.
Garrett Jones checking in for the first time, touching the ball for the first time as well. Trying to dribble around Walton as Hillsdale works it around the perimeter. That's Pretzer down low to Furlong, off the glass, can't get it to roll. An easy board for Karis Levert.
That's a nervous miss, no question. He shot it off his fingertips on the way up, rather than be strong with the ball and say, hey, if I get fouled, I'll go to the line and make a couple.
Nice feed, they'll kick it out, Walton, and he knocks it down. A three for Walton to tie. And Hillsdale wants a timeout. Chargers have led throughout the first 7 minutes plus in this game, but Michigan on a 12-3 run as they draw even here. As we take a look at Derek Walton hitting a three from the corner to tie this game.
We had the chance to go to practice yesterday or last night, and you see Michigan practice threes all the time. If you have an opportunity and you're not in a half-court scrimmage, you go to the other end, and they practice the threes, especially deep in the corner. Because Coach Beilein, whose philosophy knows, it is hard to guard a corner and then give help to the middle. When you're on the wing, it's easier to drop into the middle and cut people off. So he tries to hide his guys in the corner, and people practice those shots all the time. And that's what we saw now is what Coach Stark is concerned about, a rhythm team. Michigan gets in rhythm. They're hard to break up. That's why the timeout. He may even decide to use zone next time down just to give a different look to the Wolverines. But he is basically a man-to-man team.
Hillsdale after the timeout with possession, trying to regain the lead. Hillsdale got off to a great start in this one. Biggest lead was 9.
I think Hillsdale will try and find Cooper 24. He's their best player.
It's been Stedman Lowry taking over the scoring today. That's Nick Archer who sends it back out to Cody Smith. Hillsdale has a deep rotation. They'll use a lot of different players today.
Down to 5.
Line's down to 3, and now Garrett Jones takes it inside. Didn't get the rim there, so the shot clock runs out as the ball goes out of bounds. And Michigan will have a chance to reclaim the lead for the first time today. They haven't even had it yet.
And Wayne, as you saw, the quickness and length of Michigan just did not allow Hillsdale to turn any corner and have any kind of look at the rim.
Derek Walton off to a good start in this one, sends it back to Irvin. Irvin takes it inside, the lane cleared as Irvin dumps it in, and Michigan leads for the first time.
Two-man game on the right side, while the other three offensive players just ran really a triangle inversion, so there couldn't be any help.
A 14-3 run broken there by Lucas Gross. He has 4 points. Back to even. Hillsdale started this game 6 of 7 from the field and missed 3 in a row until Gross connected off the glass. Irvin trying to drive it inside again, but he's blocked. And as he touched it there, he was out of bounds. Timeout on the floor, John Beilein trying to get his team back to the Final Four. We'll hear from him coming back. Freshmen to see that kind of history right before their eyes.
Well, I think they relish it. They want to be a piece of that sometime in the next 2, 3, 4 years. And interesting, Coach Beilein told us yesterday, he goes, 2 years ago and last year, I only had to work in 2 players into my rotation. This year, I have to work in 8 players in my rotation, plus the scout team. And I thought that was interesting because scout teams are very critical to a team's success.
Both shot falls from Nick Archer, and Hillsdale back on top.
And that's what a good timeout and good coaching will get you. Maybe not always the basket, but you get a terrific look and even a chance for a foul.
Pretty bit of a battle the first part of this first half. I don't know if Michigan was expecting this from Hillsdale, as that one's knocked out of bounds by Lowry. Hillsdale's made their shots. 8 of 12 have fallen, 3 for 3 from three-point range. Wolverines have connected on 4 of 8 from downtown after missing a few early. 40% from the field. As Rhett Smith has a seat. Michigan inbounds.
Coach Tharp, especially this game, he likes his philosophy, and part of it is you take a good shot, you take your shot at a time you want to take it. And that's what his team has been able to do. See the quickness, Walton getting by, and then a poor attempt at defense or blocking a shot.
So Walton goes to the line. That foul against Archer, his first, team's third. Derek Walton drains the first. 12 games in double figures for Walton last year as a freshman, including a 19-point game at Michigan State. He was Big Ten Freshman of the Week after that game against the Spartans. 2 for 2 from the line here. From the Detroit native, Walton. Pretty impressed with the guard play of Zach Miller, junior on this Hillsdale team. He's a great contributor.
You're right, Wayne. Actually, when he was out is when Michigan made their run. Nice cut there by Lowry. See if he can get it off.
It's Nick Archer with the long 2. Ball's a little short, and the rebound cleaned up by Zach Irvin. Walton around the screen, looking to get inside. Nice cut to the hoop. Wilson had it taken away.
Nice job by Cooper. A block or a steal or a combination thereof.
And Kyle Cooper misses the 3. Wilson with the board. Spike Albrecht brings it up. Albrecht looking to attack the hoop. The scoop with the left hand. Wilson to tip in.
And Spike Albrecht knew he may not make that. He wanted to get that ball up. It goes in fine, but he knew there was length coming behind him. So as the ball came off, not a problem at all in being able to put that ball back.
Catch and shoot for Nick Archer falls. 4 points for the sophomore forward Archer.
We got a fun game.
Yeah, how about it?
I'm not sure the fans expected this. Student section standing.
Chapman's the only scorer, rather the only freshman, only starter rather, that hasn't scored yet. He doesn't score here. As Lucas Gross takes it up for Hillsdale. Chapman though steals it.
So Chapman's going to be a player.
Nice dribble all the way to the hoop, plus the foul.
Yeah. When you have a chance, and I did go to summer camps over a 2-3 year period, and you see Chapman, he's long, he's athletic, very unselfish, terrific scorer going behind his back at 6'8", and that came from the fact he grew 7 inches between his sophomore year and his senior year, so he had ball handling skills as a guard, and now he's really playing almost a point forward position.
Second foul against Archer. Chapman can't finish the 3-point play as Irvin knocks it out of bounds. Hillsdale will have it. Entering the game for Michigan for the first time is Aubrey Dawkins. Son of Stanford head coach Johnny Dawkins, as Zach Irvin has a seat.
Johnny Dawkins, head coach of Stanford, but also a former player at Duke under Coach K.
Stedman Lowry's had the hot hand early, but finally he misses one. And DJ Wilson gets the rebound for Michigan.
A bit of a heat check, maybe forced a bit. Ball went off the palm of his hand. As Dawkins, the other night, took 2 threes, made them both in the exhibition game. Makes this one.
Aubrey Dawkins connecting, and this is Michigan's biggest lead. Cooper trying to cut into it, and he does. And a 3 from the top of the key. Preseason All-GLIAC Growth Division second-teamer Kyle Cooper.
Although the points are at moderate level, the pace is very quick.
Rebound by Dawkins, flying in off the miss from Chapman.
Was I right or wrong? His shoulder was above everybody else's head.
Albrecht around the screen, feeds it inside. Chapman underneath, can't finish. There was a foul at the end of the play, so Chapman will go to the free throw line. A trivia question coming up. Think about the 3 teams that were in the Elite 8 last year. There's a hint. As a collegiate head coach, he's 6th among active D1 coaches. 150 of them at Michigan, fourth most in school history.
Yeah, Coach Beelan, as they say, old school. I mean, he started at Erie Community College, Nazareth, Des Moines, Canisius. Then goes to the Richmond Spiders. Finally, West Virginia, of course, had terrific teams that had a great record, and Michigan brought him here.
The freshman Chapman at the line. A lefty, and he makes them both. Michigan's been battled here early on by Hillsdale.
The difficult part is now they're playing without their starting point guard, Zach Miller. They had trouble scoring when he went out with his first foul.
Working in Cody Smith at the point guard position. Lowry had the great touch early, going too high there. Fighting for the loose ball, Rex Smith can't get it, it ends up with Albrecht.
And Hillsdale still looking for their first offensive rebound.
One of the few juniors on this team, Albrecht.
Yeah, he's the old guy now.
Yeah, he and LeVert both.
You remember 2 years ago, 6 of 7 in the first half. The championship game, 4 threes.
That was unbelievable. Just couldn't stop.
No.
He goes up for the three here, but it's wide, and Pretzer gets the rebound. And watching that game, watching Spike Albrecht become a household name in that national championship game, giving Michigan a chance.
And he is one of those players on the court that really understands the system.
And he picks this one off.
Picked it off.
All the way to the hoop, Albrecht. And there you go, Mac, just like you said. A guy who's totally aware of what's around him.
Great job of just setting back way low in the passing lane, understanding that Hillsdale likes to reverse the ball, and he just anticipated that. And that is part of the system that Coach Beelan uses in terms of great scouting reports, anticipating other people. You wouldn't say they're a great defensive team, but they're a great disruptive team.
Well, will ultimately end up being one of the differences in this game. 5 turnovers so far from Hillsdale. Michigan just 1. Wolverines don't turn the ball over and they don't foul.
Yep. And those two things are critical, I think, in today's game when you do a lot of slashing, a lot of three-point shooting. There isn't as much post play where a lot of fouls used to occur. I look here for Hillsdale to really try and get a good shot or get fouled. They have not gone to the foul line. See if they can get an opportunity. But the length, obviously, of the Wolverines have taken away any inside game for the Chargers.
It's an 8-2 run for Michigan. Last year, fewest turnovers in the Big Ten, 7th fewest in the country from Michigan. Fewest fouls in the country, and another turnover. This time, going to the hoop is Zach Irvin.
And that's what Irvin has to do. Came in with a reputation as a shooter. Did that as a freshman. He's got to round out his game, be a rebounder, play some defense.
Irvin was second on the team in three-pointers last year. Showing his inside game there after the steal. Hillsdale falling into a hole after a great start. Pretzer has it nearly taken away. And this time it goes to Michigan. Walton driving all the way up and gets it to roll.
The pass-catch game for Hillsdale hasn't been existent since Zach Miller has gone out. You've got to pass the ball where somebody can catch it, be strong with it, then make a move and make a shot.
Michigan has had a steal on 3 straight possessions. They're on a 13-2 run, and Lowry with the scoop to silence that.
So Lowry has been the guy that's been the coolness of the Hillsdale team so far, not affected by being on a Wolverine home court. Walton calls out to the high post. Now it's wide open behind.
Karis LeVert knocks it down. The new go-to guy for this Michigan offense. LeVert averaged 13 a game last year. They call him Baby Durant. He's expected to be the top scorer this year.
Might have a ways to go to be a Durant, but I understand the similarities. They're long, lanky, have inside game, can drive it. Ah, nice pass.
Kicks it out here, and it's Zach Irvin who knocks it down from three-point range.
We talk on their fast break. The Wolverines put people deep in the corner. Very hard to guard to get open shots. So when Levert drove the middle, the defense was there, leaving a wide open opportunity.
Long jumper from Cody Smith, about an 18-footer. Keeping Hillsdale in this one after Hillsdale got off to a great start in this game. Michigan with the run that they expected to open up a double-digit lead. Donnell trying to finish it. Actually landed on Levert on that rebound, and he traveled. Michigan's defense opening up some opportunities for the offense. A steal on 3 straight possessions. And on this one, it was Zach Irvin taking it all the way home.
Erected the great tradition. Of course, they did with facilities. You look at what they've done here, it's been remarkable in the remaking of Chrysler Arena, the practice facilities we got to go to yesterday, the weight room where I pumped iron, got these biceps. Boy, they just pumped up today.
And kind of an interesting time for Michigan football, but the Wolverines basketball program holding up the tradition here in Ann Arbor.
I think Hillsdale said we can't go any longer without Zach Miller. Got to get him in the game. Even if he's got 2 fouls, a lot of coaches like to sit players if they get 2 fouls in the first half.
Stedman Lowry made all the shots early. He's not made one in a while, and he fouls there on the reach-in as Walton grabbed the rebound. That's the second foul against Lowry.
You look at the run. Michigan's gone on a 38-12 run. So it's been a difficult time for Hillsdale to get an opportunity to get some easy shots, which they did early in the game.
There's a 6th-team foul against Hillsdale. Next one sends Michigan to the line. Wolverines have only committed 1 foul in this first half.
Karis LeVert can take Cooper off the dribble.
Working around Archer here, LeVert. Once again from downtown. Opening up the scoring now. LeVert with 9.
When we talked to the Michigan players, and we got to talk to Walton a little bit, so the thing that is really impressive about Coach Beeline is the freedom that he gives you on offense. Now they're structured, but it isn't like you miss one shot and you're coming out. As long as you run the offense and do it the way Coach Beeline wants, you're going to get an opportunity to score.
Nick Archer takes the 3 and misses. Cooper trying for the rebound. It's knocked out of bounds. It will stay with Hillsdale. 8th three-pointer of this game for Michigan right here from Karis LeVert.
Yeah, and LeVert started like 1 for 4. But again, open look with a little step back. Hillsdale likes to try and score and dump it down inside if they can to the bigs after they get it in.
3-point chance from Cooper missing. It was Hillsdale that connected on nothing but net early on. Mistake there by Michigan, unforced error as Donnell was headed to the basket off his hands and out of bounds.
Karis LeVert. I call that a middle-to-middle pass. The ball's in the middle and the man receiving is in the middle. That's a very hard thing to catch. It's like a football player catching it right over his head without an angle. You like to move that ball to one side or the other, just even 2 or 3 feet, to give yourself an angle for the recipient to look and see the ball.
Knocked out of bounds by Archer after Donnell tried to save it. Archer juggled it out right in front of the Michigan bench.
Good defense coming over the top, trying to save Donnell. Redshirted last year. He is maybe one of the most important part of the newcomers because he's a big body that can step out. He's got terrific hands, and he understands the system better than the younger players because of the red shirt.
3's falling for Michigan. That's their 9th. They have 14 points off the 8 Hillsdale turnovers. And Irvin in double figures with 13. Another steal. And all alone to the basket, Karis LeVert.
How was Karis LeVert not an upper-level D1 recruit when he came out of high school? He committed to Ohio U, And then when John Gross went to Illinois, Karis LeVert decommitted from Ohio U, and Michigan needed an athlete, a player. This guy, all Big Ten, a chance for All-American, toyed with the idea of NBA last year, but came back. I think that's a wise choice. His body development and the fact last year he wasn't the #1 or #2 option. You've got to go through that experience to know how the #1 defensive players are going to play. He's going to see a lot of them this year.
Led the team last year with 44 steals. The pick there on his way to the basket. And a double pump jam from Karis LeVert, just like Mac McCausland used to do at Iowa.
Yes. Well, no, that was the mini tramp. Oh. But Michigan does a terrific job, as we said, setting below the passing lane, understanding the other team's offense, anticipating it, especially when the offensive player has turned his back before he maybe pivots, starts to pass. Finally, an easy opportunity. And again, returning the favor, bringing everybody high, Michigan nobody low, and no defensive help.
Michigan with so many points off turnovers. Hillsdale hasn't really had many opportunities. Michigan hasn't turned the ball over much. Walton with the jump shot. Donnell tips the rebound back out. And it's Abdur Rahman who grabs it for Michigan.
You see the pass, cut through, replace. No communication that time between Chapman and Walton. And you can see Chapman even saying, was I supposed to pass it there? My bad.
One of the rare turnovers in this first half for Michigan.
As you said, that's one of the absolute keys for John Beilein. Do not turn the ball over.
Miller with the floater that can't fall, and now the rebound for Donnell. Pretzer knocked it away, and it will stay with Michigan.
Yeah, floaters at the college level, as a coach from my history said, flippers, floaters, and faders don't go. I mean, you got to be power with that ball and get fouled.
Abdur Rahman has a seat. Karis LeVert will inbound for Michigan. What could be their final possession of the first half. Our 4.5-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock. Slow start for the Wolverines in this one. Hillsdale had everything falling early. Michigan exercising its dominance in the last 10-12 minutes. And John Beilein calls a timeout here. 15 on the shot clock, 18 and a half to play in this first half.
This is a learning point. You've got just 18 seconds left to go in the shot clock, or 15 seconds in the shot clock. Tim Miles, Mr. Tweeter in the coaching ranks. He'll tweet during the games, let you know what's going on as far as his thoughts.
Michigan made 1 of 7 to start this game. They've connected on 8 of their last 10. Finishing up this first half here, it's LeVert who's fouled. And he will go to the free throw line. One in the bonus after the 17th foul from Hillsdale in this first half.
Now it's almost the reverse. Coach Start can work on a last second shot. 8 seconds is a long time in terms of getting the ball down court. They want to spread it and see if he can get his point guard to drive it and kick. Find a three-point shooter. But first of all, you got to get the ball in bounds. Don't be surprised if Michigan puts somebody on the ball or at least up at the free throw line to pick up the ball handler.
LeVert at the line, preseason All Big Ten. Expected to be the leading scorer this year with Nick Stauskas gone, Glenn Robinson the third, Mitch McGarry all gone from this Michigan team. LeVert having a good one so far, 13, tied with Irvin for the team lead in this first half.
What you see is Chapman and Walton up front putting just a little pressure on, so that shot clock has to wind down as Miller gets a look and Walton with a foul.
Michigan with about a half dozen fouls to give.
Yeah.
That's just their second.
I know Coach Beilein doesn't like to see fouls, but when you only have 2 team fouls, you can certainly use up a couple more. And I'm not sure Hillsdale will get a shot off.
4 seconds left in this first half as Lowry inbounds to Miller, and there's another one. Abdur Rahman commits the foul there. Really, Michigan can do this a few more times without any penalty. That's, again, just their third team foul.
I don't know if I've really seen a team with just one team foul in less than 10 seconds left to play in a half.
Well, if anyone was going to, it would be this team. Michigan certainly known for this. DJ Wilson trying to interrupt the inbound pass, and he kicked it into the stands. Good job by Wilson. You see the bench encouraging him to get up. With his 6'9" frame, he has a 7'3" wingspan.
And you can see he turns his body at an angle so there can't be a direct pass to the basket. And he's trying to put up, as you indicated, his hands and make that ball kind of alley-oop over him, or at least throw it to the back court in order for Hillsdale to start their offense, and then it'll just be a cast shot at that point.
Into Pretzer, who puts up the three, and he drains it. Jason Pretzer, the 7-footer, with the three at the buzzer for Hillsdale. It was a strong showing from Hillsdale the first 8-10 minutes of this first half. And Jason Pretzer with one right at the buzzer here before halftime.
Well, Jason Pretzer, is a 7-footer, is allergic to the lane, and this is why. He can go ahead and shoot the three. Good job by Coach Stark. And it has to maybe be a little disconcerting to Coach Beeline.
Solid first half for Michigan in this banner-raising game in Ann Arbor as the Wolverines open up a new season after winning the Big Ten regular season title a year ago. The banner went up today, and Michigan enjoying a 50-33 lead over Hillsdale at halftime. Second half about to begin. Starters will be out there on both sides. Miller, Gross, Lowry, Cooper, and Pretzer for Hillsdale. For Michigan, Chapman, Walton, Irvin, Levert, and Donnell.
Yeah, when you look at that Big Ten challenge, I believe it's Duke and Wisconsin. Iowa goes down to North Carolina. See Roy Williams and the great talented freshman there.
Stedman Lowry inbounds, and Hillsdale with possession to start the second half at the Chrysler Center in Ann Arbor. And Randazzo alongside Max McCausland. Michigan fell behind 12-2 to start. That's why Hillsdale was draining threes all over the yard. And Zach Miller connecting to start the second half.
It's not the guy we thought would maybe take the shot. Lowry got him off to a great start. But I think Zach Miller is the reason that Hillsdale is behind as many as they are.
Long two from Zach Irvin. He had a great first half. Now 15 for Irvin.
Zach Irvin just shot over the defender, who was about 4 inches shorter, raised up.
Pretzer hit a three-pointer right before halftime. A 7-footer that, as you said earlier, was allergic to the lane. Gets in there, though, here, and Donnell tipped that ball. Pretzer finds it anyway, but he can't finish. And Chapman cleans up the glass.
As we said, more effective out at the three-point line.
Chapman takes it inside. It was Cooper who got a piece of that one, knocking it out of bounds. Pretzer went down. It's the perils of being 7 feet tall. They want you inside.
Yeah, they do. You know, they don't ask you what weight you wrestled in high school when you're 7'1".
Inbound to Levert. Trying to dribble around Lowry, and Lowry reached in to commit the foul. There's contact rules that they really will keep a close eye on once again in college basketball this year. Scoring went up a little bit last year because of the new rules, and they will continue to be a point of emphasis this season.
Yeah, the block charge is going to kind of go out the way they called it last year. You're going to have to really earn that charge situation.
Donnell misses the jumper from the baseline. Zach Miller brings it up for Hillsdale. Lucas Gross trying to keep his dribble. Donnell was causing some trouble. Now Chapman knocks it away. A steal for Michigan. Walton pushing, taking it inside, kicks it out. Levert three, and Karis Levert connects again.
Terrific job of Levert reading the defense. We talked earlier that Michigan likes to go to the corners. That time the defender went down to the corner, started to head towards the dribbler, Walton, And LeVert came up to the wing and was wide open for the shot.
Fourth triple for LeVert in this game. Back to the basket for Gross. Donnell stuffed him, but a foul. That foul against Zach Irvin as we take a look at Michigan's defense once again being disruptive.
And you see Walton go down. As he drives down, the defense turns their back. LeVert comes up to the wing and just plays catch with the net. This Michigan team is going to be a lot like all the other Beeline teams. You leave them open, you can pay a price from the arc, not just giving up a 2.
Mac, that first free throw from Lucas Gross was the first free throw in this game from Hillsdale. And Gross makes them both. That foul against Irvin was just his first, team's first in the second half.
As you said in the first half, one of the Beeline rules is don't foul. Don't put the other team in a foul situation.
Michigan did that better than anyone last year. Irvin driving around the lane, throws it out. Good perimeter passing from Michigan. Walton attacks the basket and gets it to roll. A sophomore Walton, one of just 2 returning starters for the Wolverines. On the Bob Cousy Award watch list for the best point guard in the country.
He is very quick, and when he's healthy, he is a guy that very few people can defend.
Miller around a double team, finds Cooper open, and Kyle Cooper drains that one from downtown. Second on the team last year in both scoring and rebounding. Cooper in double digits.
Yeah, double digits, and LeVert going in between gets bumped. Don't think you're going to call that continuation.
Foul is on the floor. Second team foul against Hillsdale in this second half. See, last year, second in the Big Ten in turnovers, just 9 per game. They were the best shooting team in the league from overall and three-point range, and the best free throw shooting team.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of coaches always talk about rebounding. You know, you want to have a rebounding edge. You want to have an offensive rebounding edge. Well, when you look at shooters, and you can be first in your conference in all 3 shooting areas, first of all, there's not a lot of rebounds because you make the shot.
He follows against Nick Archer, his 3rd. Inbound to LeVert near center court. Walton cuts it down low, and it was taken away as Donnell tried to cut to the basket. Miller with a good pass to Lowry, and Stedman Lowry whiffs on that one. Stedman Lowry drained absolutely everything earlier, and after he missed that shot, he comes up hobbling.
Came down, rolled his ankle. And that hurts more than just physically, because Lowry has been terrific in shooting the ball in this game. 13 points.
All of those very early on. Hit 3 threes to start the game. LeVert down low to Donnell. He's fouled. He'll go to the basket. We'll take a look at Stedman Lowry on that 3-point attempt. Watch him as he comes down for the shot, rolling that ankle.
Got that left ankle right on LeVert's foot. And that happens a lot in the game of basketball. Because a good jump shooter will jump slightly forward. And of course the defender is trying to close out. And if he's closing out while you're in the air, you're going to come down on top of him.
Mark Donnell, the redshirt freshman, at the free throw line.
We'll see if Lowry can get a re-tape job, a lot tighter, keep the swelling down. And then he'll pay the price later tonight and tomorrow. Once you have to take off the tape and the shoe, there's not enough ice in the world to keep the swelling down.
Miller finding Cooper with the fadeaway shot that falls wide, and LeVert gets the rebound. LeVert trying to dribble around Garrett Jones. Gets to the free throw line, and now Walton can't get that one. A rebound for Kyle Cooper. Garrett Jones, the left-handed shot from the corner.
Nice job that time by Hillsdale as a team. They spread the court, keep it open.
pretty good showing for Hillsdale today. They'll pick to finish just 4th in their division in the GLIAC this year. The way they look today, they could probably go up there with the big dogs in that conference, Grand Valley State, Northwood, and Michigan Tech.
I think they need more of an inside game. Well, there's the opportunity.
And it's Cooper with the left hand after a deflection. 5 straight points for Hillsdale.
This is a good test. I think Coach Beeline, would love to see the 50-point blowout, but by the same token, he wants to be able to have some teaching points, have these players understand, especially the young ones, not everything is easy in this league.
Levert's shot rims out. Hillsdale trying to continue their run. Miller's been a great distributor at the point guard position today. Not a scorer, but you could see what his arsenal includes, and Kyle Cooper with a 3-pointer off the feed from Miller. It's an 8-0 run for Hillsdale, and they've come out in the second half like they started the first half, shooting the lights out. They've cut the Michigan lead to 10.
And when you look at this, Archer won't get a chance to get an assist, but he had the backside open and able to get his teammate open.
The big lead early. They scored 12 the first 14 points in this game. Michigan dominated, though, the last several minutes of the first half. What was a 17-point lead at halftime has been cut to 10. And it's Michigan ball after the timeout.
Now you see Spike Albrecht and Walton in together. 2 veteran guards. Know how Coach Beeline wants to play.
Spike Albrecht taking that shot and missing, and it's Archer with the rebound. Hillsdale can get this deficit back to single digits with a bucket here.
For us, this is a fun game. I'm not so sure it is for the Michigan student body. We've gotten a little quieter.
Probably expecting the 30 or 40-point blowouts we saw around the Big Ten. Jones misses a big shot there, could have cut it to 7. As Albrecht ends up with the board, feeds it down low to Doyle. And a timeout after the foul committed against Doyle. It's Archer who commits his 4th foul. Lead remains in double figures, at least for now, for Michigan. Michigan also at Erie Community College before that. He's never been an assistant coach. His first job at Erie Community back in the late 70s.
The thing we saw yesterday at practice, tremendous teacher and pays attention to detail. And teaching the younger players, and he had a couple of the veterans out there, they did not run the play well. He ended up going again and again. They went through it about 8 times before they finally got the rhythm right that he wanted on the cutters. So detail, as well as understanding just basketball IQ, critical to John Beeline.
It's been more than 4 minutes since Michigan has made a basket. Levert takes it inside, leaves it up for Ricky Doyle, and the freshman gets one to drop, plus the foul.
Darnell that was Doyle. A big body, a young one that really has terrific upside, the Wolverine coaching staff told us, and it's going to take experience. And when you already look in this game, the 5 starters have 20 minutes, so the bench has not given many minutes in this game or much production.
Doyle has a seat after finishing the 3-point play. The lead back up to 13 for Michigan.
He showed us really good hands yesterday in that pass catch situation. Oh,
Kyle Cooper's been on fire in this second half. That's 10 since halftime.
That's just a slip, going right to the basket again, knowing there's no post players, so there can't be any weak side help.
Cooper has 17 points in this game. That's Irvin. And another drops for Irvin, who has 15.
Irvin pops out on a down screen.
A travel there as Furlong dragged his feet.
Well, Hillsdale's done a very good job getting themselves back in this game, putting pressure on Michigan to have to make shots.
LeVert sends it out to Spike Albrecht along the baseline, finding Walton. There's the Walbrecht combo that they like so much here, but it's Albrecht who's unable to finish. It's Hillsdale ball. Cooper has scored the last 7 points for the Chargers. That pass intended for Furlong, tipped out of bounds by Albrecht to send us to a timeout. Hillsdale keeping it interesting here in Ann Arbor.
Title 89, Lemuel Robinson. Well-known name out of that era.
The only national championship in Michigan's history. Stedman Lowry, who rolled his ankle earlier, is back in the game. He'll inbound for Hillsdale after a timeout. Hillsdale started this game with a 12-2 run. Their current run, made without Lowry on the floor. He was a sharpshooter early on. It's been Kyle Cooper, though, in the second half. And a pass picked off there by Walton. 3 against 2 for Michigan. Walton goes all the way up and is fouled by Cooper.
I know you can always say ifs and buts, but Hillsdale, if they would not throw the cross-court pass literally 20 and 30 feet, Michigan probably would not have about 8 of their points. They have just gone, basically scored layups, in this case, a foul situation.
Third foul against Cooper. And Derek Walton drops the first. Walton's 6-foot guard had a double-double in the game last year with 10 rebounds and 13 points against Ohio State. He has 14 in this one. And now 15 after the second free throw drops.
We'll see Derek Walton going against Aaron Kraft. Two of the tougher, very quick defenders, tough-minded. Fun to watch that.
Garrett Jones trying to dribble around Walton. And now the backup point guard, Cody Smith, in the game. We've seen Hillsdale's offense drop significantly when Zach Miller comes out in favor of Smith. Cooper, though, takes another shot and makes another shot. 20 for Cooper, 13 in the second half.
You got to know who Cooper is. He's their best player, terrific standstill shooter. And 2 Michigan players looked at him and nobody closed out.
LeVert takes it inside around 2 defenders and drops it with the left hand.
2-foot jump stop, fundamentals. Coach Beeline believes in balance. 2 feet on defense, 2 feet on offense.
Baseline attack from Cooper, sends it out. Walton's got it again and he's fouled. Cody Smith stopping Walton's progress to the basket.
Hillsdale being able to run and roll, and again, no defenders. You had Karis LeVert and Zach Irvin both looking at him. He just has an open play catch with the net.
9th foul against Hillsdale.
That's not good for Hillsdale.
See Cooper with 20 points. As Walton makes the first, he'll get another. Walton's been good at the free throw line in this one. He's made 6 of his 7.
Michigan has to understand the next foul on Hillsdale, they shoot 2 every time. So if you're a slasher or a driver, you want to challenge Hillsdale, make them reach, go to the line.
Michigan expanding their lead once again. It was 17 at halftime, up in that neighborhood now. Cooper the catch and shoot. Kyle Cooper has scored the last 12 for Hillsdale and has 22 in this game.
He just schooled the freshman, Chapman, in a little fadeaway.
Bit of a stumble there from Gross trying to defend LeVert. And a foul. They'll send LeVert to the free throw line. Against Gross, his second. That's actually the 9th team foul now. So the next one after this will put Michigan in the double bonus.
I was just anxious. I was bad at math.
LeVert missing the free throw, so it's Cooper with the rebound. Hillsdale has not had anyone score but Cooper in the last 6 minutes. See if Pretzer can get on the board. Too strong there as Chapman runs down the rebound. The freshman in his first collegiate game and start. Can't get that one to float home. Cooper and Gross fighting for the rebound. It's Gross pulling it down for Hillsdale.
And that's what I would say, Wayne. The floater you just said about Chapman, if you take it up strong to the rim, you're going to get fouled or finish it. The floater hits off the back of the rim. Hillsdale, easy rebound.
Nice feed to Cooper from Pretzer. Kyle Cooper continues to get on the scoreboard. He has 24 points.
Hillsdale's going to have to take a timeout just to let him get a rest.
Cutting to the basket, Spike Albrecht with the scoop, but can't get the score. Hillsdale can cut it to 10 or even 9 with a 3. It's Cooper again. This time it was blocked. Looked like Chapman got a piece of it. And now Caris LeVert behind the back dribble, trying to angle his way toward the hoop. It's all LeVert here, and he knocks it down.
That was all LeVert. That's why he has a chance to be an All-American.
Cody Smith finding the hot-handed Cooper. Stedman Lowry with a great first half. He's been quiet since. Cooper trying to post up Chapman. Instead, he'll call for a screen. Don't see too many 7-footers angling out there looking to post up somebody. Nice cut to the hoop by Lowry and the finish.
That's all 5 players out, cutting, screaming away from the basketball. Just a curl cut. Michigan's really had trouble either blocking people from going or having any help side.
LeVert sends it to Walton. His 3 connects.
Boy, Michigan just loves that corner shot.
6th assist from LeVert, a career high. Walton has 20 points. Pretzer trying to take himself inside. And that one nearly stolen by LeVert. Probably should have been, but he kicked it out of bounds. Hillsdale hasn't gone away, but Michigan still with a sizable lead, looking for their first win to start the season.
Well, again, he's making his first 3, as you said, athleticism. You have a terrific rebound. But until you pick up the system and understand the pass, the cut, the rotation, and replace that Coach Beilein has in his offense, you're going to mess up the other players. So you've got to keep your best group out there and understand the offensive IQ of what the Wolverines do.
Hillsdale with possession after a foul from Chapman. Nice pass inside from Smith, looking for Cooper.
Lowry may shoot it from there, yeah.
Archer feeds it back to Lowry. Shot clock down to 10 for Hillsdale. Around the screen, Cody Smith forces up the shots, too short. And Caris LeVert gets the rebound. Good job by the Michigan defense to stick on Hillsdale there. Donnell, the long baseline jumper, connects. He's a redshirt freshman.
He's a very good shooter. Baseline, in the middle. He's got to take more of those to become a threat, and then actually his post game will be better.
3-pointer misses from Archer. Cooper the rebound. Cooper looking to take it up now, drives into LeVert, and there's the offensive foul.
Impatience brings bad results. There's just no opportunity, no baseline. Never got the shoulder by LeVert. See, the shoulder goes into his chest. You got to get the shoulder by the body.
4th foul against Cooper with that offensive foul, so he's in trouble after a great second half. 17 points for Cooper since halftime. He's 10 of 15 from the field overall. He's tied a career high with his 24 points today. We take a look at this loaded conference. Wisconsin entering the season at number 3 in the country. Michigan State's 18th, Ohio State, Nebraska, Michigan, also in the top 25. Illinois looks like they could be strong this year, at least stronger. Iowa just outside the top 25 as well. You know all about those Hawkeyes.
Yeah. And when you look at last night's game, watching the two Patinos, father and son, go against each other, I mean, Louisville is a top 5 team, and Minnesota right there with them. So I expect the Gophers to knock on the door. And you said the Iowa Hawkeyes rolled up a bunch of points last night. It's going to be an interesting race. And again, we haven't talked. Maryland, Rutgers come in. So it's the 14 teams in the conference. And you'll play 5 of them twice. And the others you'll just play once. So interesting year coming up.
Had to be a fun night for Rick and Richard Pitino yesterday. You had a son who played through college ball. I mean, can you imagine it going up and coaching against him?
Yeah, this league has terrific coaches.
Nice job by Mark Donnell. Ever since we called out the freshman for not scoring, Donnell's put up 4 points.
Must have hurt us again.
Michigan closing in on their biggest lead of the day. Lowry trying to cut into it. Cooper gets the rebound, and the putback doesn't go. Still a loose ball. Walton trying to dribble away from Miller. And Miller made some contact. He'll be called for the foul. Walton will go to the free throw line for 2.
When you talk Maryland and you talk Rutgers, Maryland technically now has had the last national championship of a Big Ten team, 2002. Although, when you look at the other teams, it would have been Michigan State. Year 2000, Mark Turgeon, coach that has been at Kansas, Wichita State, Texas A&M, and now Maryland. And Rutgers, their head coach, Eddie Jordan. Now, I did see the other day, Eddie Jordan played 420 NBA games. If you add up all the other coaches in the Big Ten, you know how many games they played in the NBA?
I'll venture to guess none.
Totally right. You must have read the same article. I said, holy cow, never even thought about that.
Miller inside to Cooper. Now Nick Archer belonged to. And LeVert with the rebound. Michigan already operating with its biggest lead. And Donnell is fouled, a chance to add to it from the free throw line.
That is Michigan, when they can get out and run, because Walton is a type of guy that just stopped on a dime. You might have been able to see that as he went down and you thought there might be a charge, he just whoop, stop, pass.
Mark Donnell hits his first free throw. His brother is an offensive lineman for the Iowa football team, Andrew Donnell.
And a good one. They've started to talk about him being a NFL prospect. Sharif on that Iowa front line. Top 5 maybe in the NFL draft.
Michigan has had 21 free throw attempts in this game. Hillsdale's only had 2. Cooper is fouled. Some free throw opportunities coming here after Chapman grabbed him from behind.
Cooper is letting Chapman understand how you're going to have to play that defensive end of the court. He's really done a nice job of getting himself open. As Cooper, and Chapman's got his head turned a couple times.
Cooper now with a new career high, 25 points. He had 24 in the game against Northern Michigan last year.
How about that? You'll tell your grandkids I went to Chrysler Arena, set my career record.
Yeah, how about it? Great game for Cooper.
And I'll tell you, this is a great experience now for Hillsdale and Cooper, as you indicated, when they go back to their own league. And if they're picked 4th, I want to see the other teams.
Exactly right. They're taking the number 24 team in the country, and they're playing a pretty good game against them. That was a 2 for Zach Irvin. Michigan's lead is 22, equaling their biggest. A nice block by LeVert. Taking that one away from Lowry. LeVert up to Donnell for the finish.
Michigan works on that. That's just not something that occurred there. As they drive, they have the big man come along the baseline, and they just alley-oop it up there. Big man has to go get it.
Rebound for Chapman. It was actually Ricky Doyle who made that last basket. He has 5 points in this one. Freshman trying to post up on Furlong here. Doyle calling for the ball, not getting it yet.
And Doyle is a true post player. He likes to be down low in that block area.
13-2 run for Michigan. And it could extend here as Irvin is fouled by Lowry.
Terrific down screen by Doyle. Get Irvin open.
See the Michigan defense creating points. A steal from Karis LeVert. The finish to Ricky Doyle.
There you go. But this time, they are ready. Mark Few's best team.
At the line for Michigan is Zach Irvin. Great day for him. 8 of 12 from the field. He has 19 points. His first free throw attempt of the day falls. Keep an eye on Karis LeVert here down the stretch. 20 points, 9 assists, 8 rebounds. Has a shot at a triple-double.
It's pretty good.
Aubrey Dawkins back in.
He's making us look good when we talked about him at the top of the show.
So the go-to guy for Michigan this year. Stauskas is gone. Robinson, McGarry, all gone. And they'll find scoring from somewhere else. And Karis LeVert's going to have to be that guy. Derek Walton, too. Irvin, they're all at 20 points or better today. Walton, a career-high 22. Kyle Cooper's got a career-high as well. Missing that three. Pretzer with a grab of Doyle. And Ricky Doyle will go to the free throw line.
Football linebackers would be proud of that hit. Grab the jersey, pull them back.
Never see one that big. 7 foot. Ted Hendricks maybe was the biggest one I could think of.
Yeah.
6'6" or so.
You're right. Not many 7-footers play in the NFL. Not even on the wing position. Go get that ball at the tight end.
Yeah, the tight ends, you see some former basketball players. Tony Gonzalez, of course, a great tight end that played buckets. LeVert will come out, so that triple-double probably unlikely in the final 3.5 minutes. Abdur Rahman back in the game, Wilson as well. As Doyle makes good on both free throws.
You see a lot of youngsters in there, but you got Spike Albrecht in there to help run the team. He, like you said, coach on the court, understands what Beeline wants.
Pretzer with the fadeaway jumper that doesn't fall. Rebound for Dawkins on the second effort. 17-2 run for the Wolverines. They put this one away in the last few minutes. Got to give Hillsdale a lot of credit. They made this one interesting for a lot longer than anyone expected.
Yeah, the 30 points, the 28-point lead is not indicative at all of the game.
Nope.
Started out, Hillsdale got a nice run, had the lead up to 15-15. And then in the second half, also came out ready to make some threes. And Cooper made a career.
6th turnover of the game from Michigan. Just their second of this second half. Cooper trying to go over 2 big bodies, couldn't get it. Now Abdur Rahman brings it up. Trying to dribble around Ian Sheldon. He kicks it out to Spike Albrecht. The jumper from Albrecht is good. .30-point lead for Michigan, their biggest of the day.
Both coaches, I think, learned a lot. And when they look at the film, tape, both the coaches will have a lot of teaching points to help their teams get better.
Sean Lonergan looking to check in for Michigan for the first time. Doesn't look like we'll see Austin Hatch today. Might have read about him and his incredible survival story this week. A survivor of 2 plane crashes. Made a free throw in the exhibition game earlier in the week against Wayne State. He's on the bench here, and don't know if we'll see him or not. Lonergan about to come in as Rhett Smith enters as well. There's Hatch. He lost his mother, brother, and sister in the first of 2 plane crashes, and then his father and stepmother in the second plane crash. Just an incredible story for Austin Hatch. Took a couple of years to rehab and get himself together before Michigan honored a scholarship they gave him a few years ago. And actually, here he comes. Jersey's been unveiled for Austin Hatch. You hear the roars of the crowd. They know all about this young man who's endured all of this incredible hardship as this ball goes out of bounds to Hillsdale.
I want to make sure he gets in. They're having Hatch come in for Wilson.
Here comes Austin Hatch in his collegiate debut.
A terrific player in his high school days. And as you said, that's been a couple of years ago because of the rehab. But losing your entire family in 2 airplane crashes, not much you can say about that except it's an inspiration to other people.
Jason Pretzer goes up and gets fouled by Doyle. Basket counts, so Pretzer will go to the line to try to make it a 3-point play. Austin Hatch signed that scholarship to Michigan 10 days before the second plane crash in 2011. His father was the pilot in both of the plane crashes. His father lost his life in that second one. Rebound after the miss by Ian Sheldon. And right back inside to Pretzer, trying to develop his post game over Ricky Doyle. Seen here the other night, Hatch hitting a free throw in an exhibition game against Wayne State. This is his first regular season collegiate experience. If they try to get him the ball, there he is. Hatch gives it back to Dawkins.
Tried to set him up for that 3-point deep in the corner. Now the clock will just wind down. Michigan will take what they can get.
Abdullah Rahman again trying to set it up. This time goes up with the jumper himself. Dawkins the rebound. The putback drops away. And able to save it is Hillsdale. They go deep to Pretzer with time expiring here. Hatch trying to get that rebound as it goes out of bounds. And it will be Michigan ball with 2.5 seconds left.
Maybe could have been a foul over the back, have Hatch go to the line, but not to be. Michigan looking like a good team. Work to be done with the youngsters.
Strong showing from Hillsdale, but Michigan with a 92-68 win. They are now 30-0 under John Beilein when they score 80 or more points. And the Wolverines convincing here today. Some of the young players looked okay, but it was Zach Irvin, Karis LeVert, and Derek Walton that stole the show for Michigan.
And it was Kyle Cooper, obviously having a career day, and he did it at Chrysler Arena.
For Mac McCausland, I'm Wayne Randazzo. We say so long from Chrysler Arena in Ann Arbor, where Michigan pulls off a 92-68 win over Hillsdale. To watch this entire game on replay, as well as other games on our family of ESPN networks, log on to watchespn.com or download